going to happen because God has a season for it to happen in your life. It simply says that God has planned it. Tap a neighbor and say, God has planned it.
God has planned it.
There is nothing that you can do to expedite the ultimate purpose of God. There is nothing you can do to make it come quicker and come faster. Hurry up, Lord. It's not going to come until the season of change has come. So stop being foolish and don't waste no time and keep up your good stewardship, because when the season of God is upon a church, when it's upon a people, when it's upon a ministry and a part of a family, it's going to happen. God, Lord have mercy, has a season, and when the season has come, everything will be right. Tap somebody and say, it's going to be right. The season that we're living in right now is ultimately going to be the purpose of God. The problem that I'm concerned about is becoming in the volume of God is the ultimate purpose. How do I take valuable time and valuable data and understand the heart of God? How can I take the mishaps, the blunders, the mistakes, the failures, the backslidden moments, the time that I missed God, the time of my sin, and find my purpose? You take all of those things together, you sit down quietly and let God speak to your spirit. Can I tell you something? God's not going to speak to your flesh about your purpose. He's not going to speak to your soul about your purpose. He will always speak to his purpose that's inside of you. He will speak to his spirit that dwells inside of you to ultimately give you the answer that you need. Is there two people in here that want to have church? Can I tell you something? When you're walking in the season of your purpose, it's a good thought to watch, to learn, to listen, to grow, and to ask. If you're going to try to understand what God is going to do, first, you got to watch the season that you're in. Second, you got to learn why you're in that season. Thirdly, you got to listen while you're in that season. Fourthly, you got to learn how to grow while you're there. And it's all right to ask God questions while you're there. Sometimes in seasons of our life, God now will send a word and say to you, I want you to open a business. I want you to start a career. But then what you'll do is get happy glad about it. But you do no time of evaluation. You do no time of meditation. You do no time of asking. You do no time of learning. Don't waste valuable time once God gives you your purpose and your season of change. That means now God says you're going to open a business or start a ministry or whatever you're going to do. You got to spend time in researching. You got to spend time understanding the voice of God and hearing the voice of God. Preacher, why do you tell me this morning? Because I want you to understand that all of these things qualify you for your season. Can I tell you, most of us have missed our seasons because we're not qualified when our season comes. You've got to be ready when your change comes. You've got to be ready when God ushers you into this new season, because an unprepared person can't expect values and riches and gold. God, blessings of God come to prepared people. Tap a neighbor and say, I've got to be prepared.
I've got to be prepared.
Can I tell you something? God will always allow us to be put in situations where it seems like, church, that the enemy is getting the best of us. But while you're stuck there, Velma, let me tell you what God is really doing. He's allowing you to learn while you are there. Oh, y'all ain't gonna talk to me. I was sitting down with both of my daughters. There's a difference between my oldest daughter and my youngest daughter. My oldest daughter is 30 years old and my youngest daughter is 18. And I was having a conversation with them while we were eating sushi the other night. And I said to my youngest daughter, have you learned anything about the transition that you're in? And she was uncertain about what she was trying to learn. And I had to evaluate. She's only 18. I looked at my oldest daughter and I said to her, can you explain to Ashley some of the things you've experienced? And she began to run down all of the things in the mishaps. She said to my youngest daughter, she said, Ashley, I tell you something. The mistakes I made in theft, being locked up for 60 days in the county jail. I'm sitting here now and I don't have a driver's license because it's suspended. Because of the choices, I didn't realize my season. I don't have my degree because I dropped out of school because my parents were trying to get me there. She begins to explain everything that has transpired. My youngest daughter's looking at my oldest daughter. They came from the same mindset. But look at someone say, time has a way way of making you reevaluate who you are. I don't expect Ashley to understand what a 30-year-old expects. But tap a neighbor, say, time. When you go through enough time and changes and mishaps and failures and blunders, you will wake up out of your sleep. Now, my youngest daughter is a little headstrong. You can't tell her nothing. She knows everything. She's going to talk back and have the last word. But I've come to one conclusion in my mind. Ain't nothing going to help her but